Hello, welcome to Commentate Your Game. My name is Edwin Dizon.
And I'm Anthony.
And we are commentating game session number 3. Looks like East has been determined to be Sophia. So we have Sophia playing East, Bradley currently in South, Kaji from the Linwood group playing West, and Alexandre playing North.
So, it should be an exciting game. Seems like they're just getting started. Yeah, I don't know any of the players here, so I won't be able to add any insight. But you said that Kaji is from the Linwood group.
Yeah, he's a regular in our Mahjong Room every year. Like the Linwood group generally stays in our room, but most of the con, and likes to have a go at the automatic tables.
Wow, that's awesome. We get to see how that group plays. Maybe get some insight. Okay, so they're able to get started, and we see that Dora is the 7 pin. Let's see how everyone can utilize it.
Unfortunately, we can't see all of Sophia's hand, but Sophia actually has a good starting hand. Is probably sitting at maybe 2 or 3 shanten at this point, 2 or 3 away from being Tenpai.
Yeah.
Definite Honitsu possibilities, but White Dragon, which has suddenly been claimed by Alexandre.
Yeah, so Alexandre going for a fast hand. He does have 2 Dora, so he has minimum 3,900. Good for him. I'm hearing some beeping noise from your end.
Sorry, that's the phone ringing.
Yeah, that's okay. In the meanwhile, Sophia drew up something to pair up her, or go with her in her Mansu. So now she's just Ishanten. Bradley now with an Anka of the 1 pins and 1 completed set, but doesn't have any value in his hand yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Kaji calls the Dream Dragons. Still is a bit of a ways away from actually being Tenpai, but wants to secure the Yaku while he can.
Yeah. Can go for a quick hand. With that hand. But it seems like Alexandre is going to be the one to look out for in this round. We'll see though.
Not exactly sure what hands people are familiar with, but on Bradley's end, depending upon what he draws, he could definitely go for. Since he's already discarded honors, he could easily go for like a Junchan type of situation if he draws the right tiles, because he's got a lot of outside tiles, the 3 1 pins, the 7, 8, 9. So, and he just drew the 8 mon, and now the 8 pin.
Yeah.
Especially if Bradley can work around the Dora, but not sure if he's actually familiar with that particular one. Junchan is where all your runs and your sets contain a 1 or a 9. So doesn't quite look like Bradley knows about that, but he did keep the 8 pin trying to look for Dora.
Yeah. So I think, yeah. Oh, now he drew another 8 pin, so now he finds a pair, so he can complete certain blocks and have a completed hand. Ishanten.
So the interesting there is Bradley actually considered dropping the 1 so there, and that's it's actually not necessarily a bad thing. Even though you have a 1 and a 2, all you're waiting for is a 3. So it's only 4 tiles. Whereas with the 4 pin, technically you can draw a lot around it. So the 4 pin, even if it's by itself, can still be useful. And depending upon how fast you think people are playing, you could actually discard the 1-2 so and probably not lose anything in the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely something to consider, because you can always draw something around the middle tiles that you might have, floating middle tiles. But in this case, he does.
Bradley gets a second pair, so
goes for speed.
Can't be too fast because not really much you can call with.
Right.
Alexandre's hand hasn't looked like it's progressed ever since the first call. What is Sophia? Sophia? Oh, so Sophia's Tempai.
Yes. So, do you have options? I mean, I don't think she does. I think she has to wait on the 8 so and the 6 pin. Yes.
And off it goes.
Oh no, she could have waited on the 4 and the 7 pin by discarding the 6.
He could have, but this isn't terrible. The 8 so is a Suji to the 5 so that she discarded earlier. And the fact that she discarded the 3 pin, it's only a half Suji to 6. But if somebody goes and discards the 9, now it becomes a Naka Suji, and so it becomes possible that somebody's going to drop it.
Yeah. Definitely, there's some tricky stuff going on by reaching with the 5 pin. Definitely.
Bradley there goes the 9 pin, so now the 6 pin might actually be dropped. Bradley just drew his 3rd pair, so actually, like, he could theoretically draw, if he draws 1 more, consider going for Chitoitsu.
Yes.
If he wants to continue pushing the hand, that is.
Yeah. I mean, he did discard the 3-mon, which wasn't particularly safe. But yeah, he also has like Sango potential. Like, if he just draws a third of any one of the other pairs he has. Yeah, so
he's drawing to look for that though is a bit thin. One of the 2 so's and one of the 8 pins has already been discarded, so drawing fairly thin in that respect.
Yes. It doesn't seem like anyone's decided to bail yet.
I'm not sure anybody's really pushing either. So
yeah, I guess there's no one has really safe tiles, right? So Kaji, I think his tempo.
That 9 so is probably the first tile that's been relatively dangerous that's been discarded.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's an 8 pin.
Alright. You can go for Sango here.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can at least I mean, you have to discard the 4-mon, which isn't safe, but if you're gonna push, you're gonna push.
Yeah. Yeah. He does see 1-2 so, like you said, in Kaji's pawn, so he is looking at.
Alexandre calls, gets a step closer to Tempai, but still is relatively far away, all things considered.
Yeah. He does see 2 of the Dora, so that means that other people's hands is potentially less strong. Oh.
Is there a Sumo there? Looks like it. I don't know what he drew.
Yeah. Looks like a.
Oh no, is it a draw? No, it's not a draw. Wait, is it a double run? I don't know.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, he did sumo.
Okay, so Bradley did sumo.
Sango.
I couldn't see what he drew there, but
Yeah,
yes.
Wow, nice. Very nice. Long on hand.
That was literally the last 2 so available. So
Yeah.
When I mentioned that those were the last 2 tiles, he managed to draw them. So there you go.
Right, nice maneuvering by Bradley. Yeah, I guess in this case, whether or not Sophia reached on the 5 pin or the 6 pin, it didn't really matter.
I had that backwards.
Yeah, we'll see.
And the other thing you have to worry about if she decided to wait on the 4-7 is that since the 7's the Dora, I mean, people are already gonna not want to discard that, and then not only that, but you wouldn't necessarily want to discard the Suji. So, in this particular case, it would be the 4. if, for instance, the Dora was the 5, you probably wouldn't drop the 2, the 5, or the 8. So, it's unless you really think you can draw it yourself, or you have, you think there's a lot of tiles available to you. Having that type of a weight that Sophia waited on, I don't think is all too bad. Especially since you're a dealer, you're just trying to get the win. Expensive hand later.
That's definitely fair. Yeah, it definitely depends on how you read the situation.
So Bradley's is the leader and the dealer.
Yeah.
The hand looks a bit messy. I do see some proto runs in there, but it's kind of messy. It'll take a little bit of work to get into something workable.
Yeah, the door is the one, so she does have
at least 3 pairs. I don't know how. I think there might have been a 4th.
I couldn't see.
I have to wait for him to move his arm, but I saw at least 3 pairs. Oh wait, 1, 2, 4 pairs.
Oh, nice. Very good start.
So,
Chitoy.
is a good possibility. I probably would have kept the East if I'm going to go for Chitoitsu. Alexandra has already a pair of tunes and one of the other dragons. I mean, you're not going to immediately think for, Yakuman or anything, but it's not a bad start for that. Plus Honitsu possibilities because he has, only a couple of tiles outside of Pinzu and the honors. So, and then Sophia already has 1 meld, has a pair, has 2, and I can't tell the rest. Oh, okay. So Sophia could quickly work into a Tanya shape hand, maybe Tanya Pinfu if she gets lucky. Tanya Pinfu Sanchoku if she gets really, really lucky.
Yes, that is a good possibility because she needs to complete a block anyways around there. So it's something good to aim for. I like Sophie's hand the most. Like if I was to get dealt a hi-fi and I could choose, I would take Sophia's hi-fi.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough for Bradley to make this hand workable. He's already discarded the Dora, so people may not be his hand will be 50% more expensive just because he's dealer, but that he's probably not holding any Dora, or if anything, he might be holding 1.
Right.
They'd also be pretty happy to continue on with their hands if they can.
Yeah. I agree. Bradley, I think, just gonna have to look for some good draws. I mean, not.
Well, technically, Bradley's just drawn his 4th pair.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something good. I think it's definitely reasonable to transition into Chitoy here, just because there's no value anywhere else. Although it's unfortunate he discarded the 1 cell already, the Dora. But yeah, we'll see.
Sophia's hand is improving, but it's a little bit stuck in the sense that her 3-4 and then her 6-7 8-8. If she continues to keep the 8-8 pin, then she's looking for possibly 2 5 pins, and I never like it when I have 2 different blocks that are waiting on the same tile, because it means that you're kind of like eating your own outs that you can draw.
Right.
Because you can draw 1 5, but then you still need another one, right?
That's true. But
Bradley has just drawn his 4th 8 so. And is, I guess, going for Tanya at this point?
Could be Tanya.
Yes, I'm going for
wait, so Kaji has pivoted to going for Toy Toy. Not sure I agree with that. Sophia is gonna try to match the speed there.
I liked your hand.
And call.
Before. She had Ipeko chance. Ipeko Sancho Kuku.
Then
Utani.
Bradley is now trying to opening his hand, and he's actually still 2 away because he still has to deal with a con.
Yes.
That's the plan.
I think he's at least 2 away.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, 3 technically, but you're actually really not going to be able to do much of that other than either discard the 8 or con. And with only one person still closed, you might want to just con because nobody's really going to be using the Dora in this situation except for maybe Alexandre. And Kaji if you think that he's sitting on 2 Dora, but if he was going to go for Toy Toy, he might have called Bradley's one so earlier anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, what did Sophia draw to discard the 7? Oh, she just switched it. No, wait, did she?
Yeah, I think she realizes she can be Tenpai if she discards the 8 pin. So she does. And now she's Tenpai in the 2-5 line.
Did she draw her third 8? Is that what it was?
She drew, she called the 5 pin, I believe.
Oh, so I thought she had 2 8. Oh, she discarded the 8 and Bradley called. That's what it was.
Yes. Yep.
So she did discard the 8. Okay.
Yep. She just discarded the 8.
I mean,
Tenpai.
you're gonna take the quick hand anyways, so.
Yeah. 3 of her weights are in Kaji's called tiles. Just waiting on the 2-5-1. It still should be reasonably out there. Yeah, if I was Bradley, I'd start looking to con somewhere, but you know, the allure of Rinchan Kaiho is not too bad. Fortunately, Alex's hand is a bit slow.
He's still a ways.
Yeah, unfortunately. After seeing everyone call at least 2 times, you're a little sad that you're not Tenpai yet.
Yeah, but I mean, wait, who are you referring to?
Alexandre.
Al, I mean, unless you're gonna plan on calling yourself, but you can't really with this hand.
Yeah. It's true. No, he drew Dora. I think he's afraid that, other people are Tenpai. But Sophia looks like Tanya. Bradley looks like Tanya.
I mean, the only person you're really worried about is Kaji having a Dora.
Yeah, 2 Doras.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, or 1. He's waiting for a pair, right?
Yeah, I guess that's...
But even then, it would be... Okay, so he does con. It's not really worth it anyways. I mean, he's not even close to Tenpai, so there's no reason to risk throwing it out there.
That's true. Probably...
What is our new Dora? Do we know what our new Dora is?
Looks like we do not.
It's not in front of the camera, so...
Well, regret requires an hour and a half.
Alright, I'm gonna be back real quick. You can lead the commentary.
Okay. So, in as much as people have been calling, everybody fairly has cheap hands. Is technically Tenpai, but can't win yet. Bradley and Sophia are the only ones that actually have winnable hands. But the values are relatively cheap. Still, it's depending upon what that new Condor is, but can't really tell from the camera angle, unfortunately.
Fear? You feel fear? I'll take that.
I feel like there's only really one big hand, but so bad. I'm running out of options.
So yeah, at this point, it's just a lot of drawing and discarding as people try to find their tiles. And there we go.
Tanya, a bunch of foo.
Sophia pays into Bradley. It's 1 Han, 40 Fu for 2,000 points as dealer.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
I
The flu season is getting to me. Also,
I couldn't figure out what that condor was, but it doesn't look like it was. It doesn't look like it mattered. So
okay. Yeah, I guess it didn't really matter. Like 2,000 points from Sophia. That's nice.
If I was sure someone had these little
Keeping his dealership,
1,300.
and pretty much get more points.
130? 40. Oh, 40, yeah.
Now there's gonna be one Homba,
Yep.
140.
because Bradley won his hand.
Oh, he's dealer? Oh,
Extra 300 points
On top. Isn't that,
for whoever wins this hand.
2,000?
looks like they're sorting out the fact that Bradley was dealer, so he's getting his extra 700 for being dealer.
Yeah, nice. You're right.
8 from your right.
Always good to make sure you get the right amount of points after you win a hand. Okay.
This one doesn't keep track of this.
Unfortunately, we don't have the automatic tables that bring up your hands right away. So we'll have to make do with the drawing.
I like the ones they have in Saki. It's like
All
this,
right,
but
so
there's a button in each corner. Like
Bradley,
a row of lights.
he's got some things here and there, but
That's what the DX is basically.
not really a whole lot to work with as of yet.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah, I think his hand
But this one,
it's not that great as of right now.
Right.
A lot of disconnected stuff.
Kaji's kind of in the same boat.
Yep.
He's got some useful middle tiles, but nothing really. Not enthused about the hand either. Alexandre has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to an Itsu, just missing the 4 and the 8 pin. But even if he gets those, the rest of the hand is still kind of messy. And then it's what 2? No, not 2 completed melds. It's got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 6 cell.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's got some broken parts that are going to take a couple of good draws to try to fix.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like that. No one's hand looks particularly fast. And there didn't seem that much value around. Kaji has one door, and Alexandre has Itsu potential.
And here's the thing that is debated about when it comes to hands like this. When you don't necessarily have a lot going for you, sometimes it's worth it to keep those honors that could turn into Yakuhai a little bit longer, because if you do manage to draw a second one, then you're more likely to call and then have at least Yakuhai, and then proceed with your hand from there. Whereas otherwise, you're just hoping that you fall into one of the other Yaku by just simply drawing.
Yeah.
So,
It's a good talking point. It does depend on, I think, if you want to call, I think, for me personally, I will keep extra Yakuhai for tiles I can make Yakuhai. If, I feel like I should be able to call, or I want to be able to call in order to make either a quick hand or a hand that's more valuable. Whereas, like, for example, if I had a pair of 1 mana can't go Britannia, so if I could pair up, a white dragon, then I could start calling more freely, and like you said,
right, and that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of where I'm getting at in terms of just keeping one. It's just so you can call, so then it doesn't really matter how you structure the rest of the hand. You can just try to finish it however you can. it gives you another way out other than just trying to draw tiles around, just trying to draw it yourself because you're less likely to be able to call.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Actually, it turns out that some of these hands have improved immensely. So Kaji has at least two completed melds. Is sitting, I believe, Yanshan 10 at this point, and has a lot of good tiles he can draw around. Bradley has already Unko of the Formon, and then 3 separate pairs that he could theoretically work with. So you can look for calling for Toy Toy, you can look for Chitoitsu in that sense, and pivot to that. So he's made progress. Alexandra has a couple good Ryanman shapes, 3-4, 6-7 Amon, and still hasn't progressed yet on the Itsu, but it looks a lot better than before.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the benefits of having
Unfortunately,
a bad hand is any tile you draw will probably make it better.
yeah, but in this case, it's actually a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, you're not waiting on an inside wait. Sophia, unfortunately, hasn't been able to make much progress. And that's the other thing. You could just draw tiles that just aren't useful or aren't close to what you have.
That's true too. Kaji is now admitted to Ishanten. And has 2 Dora, so I'm looking forward to seeing if he can complete it. And Bradley drawing his 5th pair, but deciding not to go for Chitoy. Instead going for probably Tanya, normal hand.
Yeah, it gets a little hairy. The 3-pin especially makes it a bit hairier. And his 7-8-8, so because a 7's only going to become useful if you get the 6. If you draw the 9, if you can't call with the 9 and you draw the 9, you're sad. The 3's kind of the same way.
Yeah. Well, then
To finish it, but it's not Tanya.
Right. Yeah, maybe throwing the 3 mile would be okay. Okay, but he decides. Sophia throws the 4 pin, which he definitely needed if he was going for Tanya. So
Right. So this is a lot better position at this point because you've been able to account for the 3. You're realistically probably going to discard the 7. So calling Alexander's 7-pin discard should be dropping the 7. So
is Dora, and you don't really risk fairy time because all 4 9 souls are in discard.
That's true.
But yeah, okay. So he goes with your idea, which is also fine.
The other thing is that I know there's only 1 8 so left, but if you've discarded the 7, if you discarded the Dora, and all 4 9 so's are out, and 1 8 pin and 8 so's out, I think that somebody might actually drop that 8 so. There would be no reason for them to think that anybody would be waiting on it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, it was kind of similar to last hand or 2 hands ago, where it's when Sophia reaches you're kind of sacrificing value for basically a tile that's more likely to come out, so speed. So, and he's dealer, and he's it's already close to 3rd row, so yeah, I can definitely see merits to throwing the 7. So
not many people have been dropping Sozu anyways, so you have to imagine that people are holding them, especially the inner stuff, which means that the 6 so is probably even less likely to come out at this point.
Yeah. Kaji hit Tenpai, but decided to not reach and has no Yaku, so he's just holding out for Ryukoku or Sumo, of course.
It's kind of interesting. I guess it's just that I don't think he figures that Because there's always the off chance that Bradley will draw the Dora and discard it,
Yeah.
and at least you'd at least have another person that would theoretically discard the Dora into you if you reached.
Yeah, but
She doesn't draw. That's hers.
yeah, I guess that's true.
I forgot that she was not drawing.
You,
Yeah,
I
actually.
don't know how much you should expect Bradley to throw Dora, but yeah, maybe. I think it's reasonable to think that he could throw Dora in certain cases. Like if his hand's worth pushing for, he'll definitely throw the 7. So.
There might actually not get rid of
I mean, if he's throwing it at third row, he's probably going to throw it again, right? If he draws it.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not, because Sophia and Kaji have all of them. But just to say that if he drew it again, he'd probably be more likely to discard it.
Yeah, he's only more likely to discard it. Okay, so
And we get to Yukoku. Kaji and Bradley are Tenpai. So we get to go to extend over most of the competition.
yeah, he's definitely doing well for himself.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't a flush.
So now it's East 2, bonus 2.
It was a crappy Danielle.
Bradley's definitely doing well. Hasn't
Eleven.
had to fight anyone. So it's good to be in that position.
I thought you could reach it.
So it looks like the Dora the tomb on. And we'll see if people start going for hands that utilize Dora more. Seems like
Well, you know, one could insist on
watching these games, they seem to be going for not so much for the Dora. Bradley has a pair of the white dragons, so yeah, he can definitely call for speed here, and he might want to, considering he has some middle weights that he would like to fill in.
Again, this might be one of those cases where, you started with 2 white dragons, 1 red dragon, 1 green dragon. Maybe you hold on to that green dragon to start just in case you happen to draw another one of either.
With like an extra line.
I mean,
If you want to fathom those thoughts, it's not going to kill you. You could have easily dropped the 9-so for the 9-mon and the 9-so in the meantime.
yeah. In fact, I think it is better to drop the 9-mon, even maybe the 9-pin, just because you can always, if you draw the 8-mon, then you already have the 4-6-8 shape. You don't really need the 9-mon in that case. If you draw the 7-mon, you have the Ryumen with the 6-7. So the 9-mon isn't very necessary for the hand, unless you, of course, pair up the 9-mon. But you can say the same thing with the green dragon or the red dragon, right? You can pair up one of those, and it'd be even more valuable than the 9-mon. So I think it's actually much better to keep the green and the red dragon over the 9-mon, and the 9-pin probably as well. In this case,
Kaji is actually pretty darn close to being Tenpai. Actually, he's Ishan 10 at this point. It's not for any. It would only be for Reach Dora at this point. But he could take it if he wanted it. I just want to take it just to end the dealership, if nothing else.
yeah, I mean, Reach Dora is good, like 2600. You're right. Ends the dealership. There's 600 extra points in the round. Okay,
Oh, what did he draw there to discard the 9-pin? He drew the 1-mon?
So I think now he's had a floating 4-mon. He decides that he'd rather have the floating 4-mon than the
clearly dual wielding is the thing that was done right.
Yeah, because then you can try to continue drawing around the Dora. So that makes sense.
Yep. Oh, backfire.
Do you draw?
Got
Oh.
pin.
Yeah, this is one of those cases you see this a lot where you discard something, you draw what you should have drawn to finish that, and then you backtrack. But when it comes to like 310 rules and stuff like that, you generally just don't want to, unless you're on a good weight. Like if you're on a 3-sided weight, if you go back towards that other direction. Here, I mean, at best, you're just looking at a 6-9 weight. Not sure I'd go back to that, even if I drew the 8.
Yeah. That's a tough
And
one.
he's backed out of it because he's discarded the 7-pin, drawn another 2-so. So,
How'd you feel about this turn?
Yep. I think this is fine. This is good. 3 pairs. And call for 2,000 points if he needs to. Alexandre's hand is
hasn't progressed. It hasn't progressed since the beginning, but it's not. It's actually not bad. But he's just not drawing any tiles around what he's got, so he's just not been able to make any progress.
Unfortunately, also doesn't have that much value. Unless
No, but I mean, at this point, I think you're just possibly just wanting to cut Bradley's dealership, as Bradley has now proceeded to get to Ishanten at this point. Instead of just breaking a dealership, even if you're just winning 1,000 points.
Yeah.
So, like, Alexandre now has gotten in a position where he's able to call and go for just a Tanyao shape. To match Bradley's speed, if anything else.
And he draws a Dora. So now he is almost done by around Ishanten now. For Tanya
Yep.
Dora 1. So yeah, I mean his hand progressed a lot in the last 3 discards. Sophia is also Ishanten. Or Dora as well. Reach Dora. So everyone's hand is like just there. Bradley's everyone's Ishanten. So matter of patience.
There you go, Bradley's now Tempai, waiting for 2-5 pin. Sophia's got 4 of those tiles.
Yeah.
Kaji's... Oh, that's interesting. Kaji hasn't discarded the 9-so, so if he wants to push towards, like, Ipeiko, he could discard the 5-so, but it looks like he's getting rid of his 4-pin pair. Not necessarily sure about that.
It's okay. It's okay, I think it might be the most efficient discard. It's hard to say. Because now you can get the 4-6 so as well as 4-7 so as long as well as instead of you're sacrificing the 4-pin for.
I mean, but the problem is, like, you're asking for 4-7, so you've already got 3 7s, right? So
Yeah.
you're kind of cannibalizing your possible weights in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, but the 4-so is still something you can accept in this case.
Well, it's a little bit moot now because since Alexandre's declared reach,
Nice. Waiting on the 2-5 so.
it's the 2-5 is not something you'd see anybody drop based upon, or you should see drop based upon Alexandre's discards.
pin discard was
Or the
but
red dragon.
yeah, he's in Tempai.
Well, you know, I would like to win, but that won't do it.
Alright. On your time.
Tempai for 2 so 8 so.
Good audible into the Sanyo would be great.
Bradley's Tempai, Sophia. I don't think it's Tempai yet.
Wait, no, because I had the one. I already discarded the one white dragon and gave me points for it. Go!
I feel like if I was in Kaji's position, I would have reached. But
How many tiles are left? Not important.
Oh, there he goes again.
Bradley on fire. Third bonus round, or well, this was the second bonus round. Going on to the third.
It's 1,000.
I mean,
Yeah.
15. Bonus 2, 21.
why would it be
Bradley eking it out with just 130.
Yeah, it was good. Trust me.
With a good weight. Yeah.
It was a good discard. Wait, can you
Bradley just a little
explain to
fast.
me how it works? Oh my god, that's
Hmm?
But
I see. So I would have
yeah, I mean, I think everyone's playing pretty well. So
3-6 to get there. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything like, you know, questionable really. Just more of like preference as to where you'd be going with the hand or anything else. Bradley's got another pair of Yakuhai. This time the green dragon.
Why does it make that sound?
What, this? Oh,
It's a shuffle.
The rest of the hand is fairly broken, so even if he called it, there's still a little bit of work to go.
Wait, are there two?
He's got at least 3 pairs.
That's why they're different colors.
It meld? Yeah.
even with up here,
Yeah, that's why I thought it was so
he
weird.
has, he
Yeah,
has
no,
completed.
I literally thought if you press the button and it just like
Oh, yeah.
went automatically, like out of the shuffle button.
No, I thought you meant how fast it
pairs?
was, because this
No,
table
no.
puts the walls
No,
up
because
really
like I didn't realize that was shuffling because I thought it was
like
shuffling.
Xander has 4 pairs.
table, these walls just pop, right?
But couldn't chip to Toy Toy because he has like the red dragon.
I thought it was just coming in
In
like
fact, I would probably prefer Toy Toy over G-Toy. Given
Is
that
it one of those like really shitty
It depends. I mean, Alexandre's got Dora. If he draws a second one, you know, there's always a chance for at least 3 Chi Dora 2 for 8,000. If you manage to hit Uradora, it's already 7 on for 12,000.
$400 is what people
But like, say the red dragon came out here,
mine are
I
like
think I would just call it right away.
resin formaldehyde.
I would still hope to pair up the Dora.
the rapid
Okay.
sucralose.
Now that he's drawn his 5th pair, I guess it's whatever comes first. It is a tough one. You would go for a G-Toy here, just like someone through the red dragon.
Yeah. I go for Chi-Toy. My next discard probably is a 7-pin, almost regardless of what I draw.
Isn't that the same thing? Total, right?
But Alexander decides to call. Because the thing is, if you're going for Toy Toy, it's going to be Yakuhai Toy Toy. You're not going to incorporate the Dora at this point. So you're literally just going to discard the Dora. And you've capped your hand, right? You can't declare reach, you can't get it, you're not going to have any Dora, you're not going to get any Uradora.
It's really big.
So
Like China's
your hand, at best, is going to be 3,900 points. If you just care about finishing and getting rid of Bradley's dealership, then sure.
like Steam.
Otherwise, you know, I would have considered going for Chi-Toy.
So like,
Yeah.
he keeps bringing up like
There's-
weird Toho
Yeah.
for me. It's like, I've never
Meanwhile, yeah, he's able to call two triplets already. Sophia has Also has 4 pairs. But
Nice theme libraries for the visual novel.
has
So it keeps trying to sell
some
me a
semblance of a normal hand as well. Bradley, probably still looking to call the Green Dragon. If he can.
It's looking to call a Green Dragon, but at this point, like Bradley has more value, I think, because he can get Yakuhai. You can possibly get Sanchoku if you get the right tiles, and then toss an Adora again if you get the Sanchoku. So, you know, if you look at his, it could be Yakuhai, Sanchoku, Dora, which is roughly the same, which is still the same, but he's also dealer, and so he doesn't mind if he moves that fast.
Yeah, and he draws his 4th pair, so you could even switch over to Chitoi or Totoi, like, if he needs to. That's why Kaji is going for Chitoi for sure. Because
I'm a little sad with that Paiso discard. You're not gonna, if you get Sanchoku, you're not gonna get Dora anymore. The only way it makes sense is if you get and you're not really gonna probably not get Sanchoku anymore. So at this point, just win the hand. You know, call the Green Dragon if you see it.
I mean, if he draws the 4 pin or the 4 mon or the 5 mon here, you could just go into the Green Dragon instead.
Okay, so he's called the Green Dragon. 3 mon. Oh, because he doesn't want to be furry 10. Oh, that sucks.
So
yeah, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, he is done by
2 mon 8 cells. Yeah, 2 mon 8 cells not terrible to wait for though. Because Alexandre is called the 3 mon, nobody will find utility in the 2 mon. So if anybody draws it, it's coming out. Like there's no reason for anybody to hold it.
Yeah. There's only 1 2 mon out or 1 2 mon left. But yeah, you're right. If anyone, that's it. I mean, there's technically another 3 mon out, but our 3 mon is somewhere. So someone could have a 2 3 4 in their hand. But
I like that plan. I think
still, it's unlikely, like you're saying. Looks like Kaji is hanchan 10 for Chitoi.
Hanchan 10 for Chitoi. But he's got his choices to draw his 6th pair though are all inside tiles. I don't like that, especially at this point in the game. Who conned? Oh, Bradley conned. Aye.
Connie revealing the 4 mon with the new Dora.
Of which Sophia calls.
Those,
But oh, it's not good. Like I'm not sure where Hiryaku's gonna be now.
oh.
He has that 1 2 3 up there in mind. There it goes. There's that 2 mon.
Well,
See, there's this list here where you say
Bradley wins once again.
16.
Yeah, that call by Sophia is like one of the the first real questionable things because she had the 1 2 3 pin. So I'm not sure what Yaku she'd be trying to go for at that point.
Yeah.
Having opened.
If it wasn't so late, I can see calling the 4 mon, or if it was later, where you're trying to get into Tempai.
Yeah, I can see it later.
But the middle game is like where you probably don't want to call with no Yaku because there's more time left for you to use it. Less time for you to actually convert your hand into something that had Yaku. So, yeah.
They've all been little tiny hands too.
At this rate, I don't even know if we'll get to the South round.
Yeah. I mean, probably keeps it up. eat up all the time.
I am also.
This is a 1 hour
Bobby
session,
move right there.
so they are timed. Yeah, they won't finish a whole hanchan if they run out of time. So, regardless of the set, we're going to stay dealer and keep ranking points. Alright, finally a hand with no pair of dragons for Bradley.
And a dying Greg got the biggest cheer of the entire run.
Yeah, he has two normal keys. Needs some draws in order to complete more than one set. Has some potential.
Yeah, the 789 kind of crimps it a bit, even though it's a completed meld.
Because he's still dealing.
Yeah, the deal
Not really. You're not really going to have much options to call if you wanted to try to accelerate your hand. So,
and normally
yeah,
that
this
would
might be a
happen
chance
without
where
the
people might be able to finally build something. But, Kaji's still got 3 honors left in his 3 broken honors left in his hand, and then that 9 so can still be used even though it's away from its other, or 9 monk is still away from its other brethren. It could still be useful in this hand.
I'm doing the memes for charity.
Alexandre's hand doesn't look too bad if it weren't for the fact that I see the 1-2 mon. That's what makes me a little bit sad about the hand. Again, because it's not like you can easily call if you wanted to go quickly.
Yeah, but he does have some slasher food chances, and I would even consider discarding the 1-2 mon and going for this Tanya Dora.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to discard it, but it's just like those tiles just aren't going to be useful, right?
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's the only sad part, right? So,
yeah.
how many pairs does Sophia have? I see 3 at least.
3, I believe. And she does have potential stuff to go to Chanta, right? Like some
Yeah.
trials. Because otherwise her hand is just slow and not that much value, and all of her weights are inside weights. So
That does not look like she's going to go that direction. Otherwise, she probably would have kept the 1 so.
yeah,
Discarded something like the 4 so instead.
yeah.
It's a bit of an unorthodox to try that out, but given the state of the rest of the hand, I mean, you should get to the point where you're comfortable trying to go for that opportunity because it might be the best chance you have.
Yeah. Bradley is making some progress now that he's drawn some Grumman shapes around his pairs, so his hand is looking a lot better than when we first looked at it. Kaji's still making rounds with all of his honor tiles. Still going through them all.
Yeah, not a whole lot you could do there. I mean, it's not like as if the rest of the hand was bad that you'd keep those dragon tiles. You could easily fault him for just thinking I'm going to go over Tanya or Pinfu, something like that. Not too concerned. It's just the fact that you've lost time because all you've been able to do is draw and discard. So
yeah, looks like Alexandre decided not to take the Shantan. He's now Yan Shantan, and it backfires on him. I'm not exactly sure why he went back in Shantan because it doesn't seem like it gains him anything. I guess he can accept another Dora, but I think he could accept the Dora regardless. Well, it was a decision he made, so actually I guess he is still run Shantan, just only on the 5 pin. Or 5 pin or 2 pin or the Sozu. Oh, you did end up drawing another Dora though. So okay.
So at this point, now that you've drawn another Dora, unless you literally plan on drawing another 3-pin. That third 2-pin is just not useful at all. And in fact, like, if you're trying to create another run off of that, it's near impossible because your 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 shape is basically killing that. So I'd probably get rid of the 2-pin sooner rather than later. Like, say, draw another 2-pin or 5-pin and discard the Dora, for instance. That 2 pin is just not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's not very useful. Yeah, I'd look for another floating tile, like you said. And reach this hand as soon as possible. Looks like Sophia called a 9 cell. So maybe.
Do you have an idea what she's going for at this point?
Yeah, I'm not too certain either. Could be Homitsu, but she still has some tiles to get rid of if she's going for that. Or Toy, she'll need to find another pair. So she has still a while to go. Bradley calls the 6-pin. Again, going for speed. Oh, okay. Good. Keeps Senpai waiting on the 2-5 one. Kaji is Ishanten. Just needs to pair up something or finish. Get it like an 8 so, for example. 5 or 8 so. Or, you know, one of the ramen that he has. But ideally, he would pair up the 8-pin or the 9-pin and the Tempai for Pinku.
Yeah.
Okay. Bradley making the choice to wait on the 3 so 4-mon, 7-mon instead of just the 2 and the 5-mon.
Not sure about that.
It looks more likely.
Again, because you have 3 4s, you've basically eaten up almost one side of that weight. So you're realistically waiting for probably just the 7.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and there's already a 3 so out.
I thought that for a second.
And also, I feel like it's more likely to get the 2 and the 5-mon, or 2-mon. Yeah, and the 5-mon because you see 3-4 pins, or 3-4 mons already out. But it is a wider, there's more tile we're waiting for. Sorry, I should say types of tiles.
Never mind.
And he does win his quick hand.
Bradley manages to draw the 7, so it works again.
Bonus 4. And bonus 4.
So it's 900 all.
Oh, wow.
Because it's 500 plus bonus 4.
That's
Okay, yeah, I can give you some chicken.
that's good for him. I think there were chances for the other players to win this hand though. Like Kaji could have been Tempai, could have been Tempai.
Yeah, that's my power today. I can win a lot.
Discards the backfire. So at least getting closer.
Oh yeah, we just did it.
But I think they need to watch out for the backfire. I think that's one of the things that's happening a lot more in this table.
I just want to like win a hand at this point. Like,
Just let Bradley go on. Just slows your hand down. 5 Homba. That is quite the number. Extra 1,500 points.
I like how he texts
And
the time rather than.
Bradley starts out with an Anko of Salve, which is not his wind, but so he'll have to stay closed or get another Yaku somewhere else.
And
Kaji, that's a decent looking hand. Looking for Tanya probably.
yes, down.
Yeah, he could call for fast hand if he wants to. But given that there's 5 home mystics, it might be worth to go for a quick hand if you can.
The last table, Kevin was there.
Alexander
And Kaji's a
also has he's hanchan, so he's close, but has the 1-2 on hanchan. That's not very fun.
So just going real slow.
It's these 2 bonus.
No, it's bonus. No, we're bonus 5.
Yeah, Sophia has the only Dora in people's hands,
Have it recorded. That's good. It's already going.
but also has some inside wits to complete
Write people's names down, and then we can just finish this round.
before she can win her hand.
And then in the interim, you can write people's names down so that we can.
So it looks like the Dora is a 3 so.
Video. And also whoever was first dealer. Write that down.
First dealer would have been
Sophia.
There seems to be a pause in the game, but okay. Sophia just does this have the red dragon.
So you were first once.
Yeah. Okay. Bradley makes an interesting choice. Decides to break Bianco of Sal's, which technically didn't have value, but except for food. But I think that's a little bit more questionable because if you do have the Sal's and then you pair up one of your other Yakuai, for example, Honitsu becomes a real possibility. And okay, well he gets to try again. Yeah, because the rest of his hand is not good either, right? So, like I would have kept the white dragon and discarded the 9 cell or something like that. And because I think you do want to get some other value in here, but and the 9 cell is okay, but hard to say. Well, Kaji's hand has not progressed that far. And Alexander is now Ishanten, so Yashanten. So maybe this will be the chance for him to take over Bradley dealership. That'll be exciting. Okay, so now Bradley is drawing tiles that are useful to him. And Kaji is also was able to get a triplet of 2 pins, so also Ishanten now. And Alexander hit Tenpai.
I'll try. I'll try.
Waiting on the 4-7 line.
You just had to hit
It is just reached. But it is 50 fu if you roam, so it's gonna be 1600 total plus the sticks.
Double pair weights.
It'll be a nice haul.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
And on the E-pots, Kaji deals in
the important thing is that
reach E-pots.
They could have passed. It's
Just reach E-pots, no other extra doors, so 250.
it's 1
Plus the 5 home sticks, which adds another 1500. So
8
very nice hand by Alexander.
50.
Able to end Bradley's dealership.
no.
Finally.
Oh,
Maybe he'll even get his dealership.
okay, yeah.
Although time should be called relatively soon,
Yeah, if you didn't draw, nobody calls.
because usually they have an hour and then time will get called and they can get a finished one more hand. So it seems like this will be the last hand
Bonus 5. 3,400. Don't touch the
before the game ends.
Maybe you should have better.
We're not having that. No, we're not having that conversation.
Maybe you should have better memory.
If it is the case, then it seems like first place is going to be out of reach for most people, unless Bradley, of course, would win.
And were they kicking us?
But Kaji has chances to get to second place. All he needs is a Mangan Sumo. Alexandre needs anything to get to stay in second. Sophia is actually not that far behind either. Also only needing
like 7's too late already.
in order to overtake second place. So
You have to draw last now?
second place is definitely not out of reach yet. And if Bradley decides to push or open up, there are some chances though. A little bit unlikely.
Yeah, that's right. And now your seat wind has changed.
The door is the west, which is going to be hard to incorporate for everyone except for Sophia. So it might be a lower scoring hand this time around, which is better for Alexandre and Bradley in this case. If you know your aim always depends on what the rule sets are, and you're just playing fun. But it's always nice to move as many places as you can. And so we'll see if they aim for the second place position.
Well then,
Alexandre does decide to discard the Dora, which is reasonable if you're just going to, if you're content with second place.
Which I'm okay with. But they never get to me, usually.
And so we'll see if we can get a manga potential with Kaji and Sophia's hand. Kaji looks like he wanted a manga. Oh wait, he's dealer, so he doesn't even need a manga sumo. He just needs oh, okay, so Sophia needs more than a manga sumo. For some reason I thought Alexandre was the dealer.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, so I miscounted a lot of the points. Sophia needs 12,000 points, so she'll need a Hanuman.
And Kaji is sitting Yanchanten?
Yeah. Yeah. Technically. Okay, but with that call, it's gonna be hard to find value. Toy Toy? Toy Toys?
Yeah, it's your dealership.
Yeah, your dealership. But this is gonna be the last hand. They should have had called on them already. So it'll be 3 and 40, which will be 77.
Enough. Oh yeah, and that would be enough if he sumos to.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter. He can just win this.
3 and 40, 77 is enough. Yeah, it is enough. So he can just win it from. Anyway, if he gets 77, he needs Toy Toy here. You can't win off the 7, so unless it's from Alexandre. Even from Alexandre, you can't win off of Alexandre to win.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But hopefully he knows his point situation. And can aim for it. Sophia, if he needs a Mangan or a Hanuman, with the West being Dora, it's gonna be a lot harder.
I mean, at this point, you're looking at just getting your 4100 and trying to at least avoid last.
Yeah, that's true. I was aiming maybe a little too high. Maybe third place is good enough.
I mean, if you can find a way to second, that's great. But
Yeah,
if you can't, at least get yourself out of last.
Yeah, with this hand, probably a reasonable goal is to get third.
I thought she was like reaching.
Bradley can just sit and wait. Doesn't have to push anything.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think Kaji can.
But he's going to anyways.
Okay, So it wants just to end the hand, so no one even gets get more points. Be fitting for it to end on Bradley's win. He's been winning so much. No, but Alexandre's
Alexandre's a couple steps away from Jun-chan.
yeah, he doesn't need it. He could move over, but he's on 10 for just a normal hand, and if he gets like a 1-so or 3-so, yeah, you get rid of the 5-6 10 and go for Jun-chan if you wanted to.
He's not Ishanten yet.
Sorry, you're talking about Alexander?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, for some reason I thought his 2 1-mons were like a set. Sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Oh, okay, Con. If he flips with Dora, then he can win off. Okay, depends on which Dora. But this is now 150? Yeah, it has to be 8.
Or for 16?
Close.
When he pulled that back off,
Still don't know what the new door is, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I also don't know what Kaji drew. I guess he drew the 3-mon.
But he this 3-mon, yeah.
So scary. But he has a chance now. Bradley called, but now I got the 9-so, so he's gonna be in 30-10. If he's actually going for his hand. Looks like Sophia's transitioning to Tanyo. I'm actually just really most interested in Kaji and Alexandre's hand. Because, that's really, aha! He did it.
And Alexander is... and he's not liable to, because I think you'd be waiting for... You'd be discarding the 6-so, waiting for 5-8.
Yeah.
So he's probably not liable to discard into Kaji.
Yeah. So it'd be... so Kaji can run off anyone or sumo. Can you he can't overtake Bradley right no matter what.
No.
Just too far away. Ooh, Bradley drawing.
Yeah, see, now it becomes tricky. Like, if somebody drops the 5-so, then Kaji's definitely winning this hand. If somebody magically drops the 6-so and he can call that, then he's safe. But that doesn't... I mean, unfortunately, Alexander dropping is not going to help Bradley.
So Alexander is Tenpai. He's Ping Fu, but staying Dama is enough to kill Kaji, or stay in second, we should say. So I think it's a good choice. This is intense now. Kaji's weights are all dead.
Well, they're not all dead, because I said, Bradley could end up dropping it, depending upon if he ends up, like I said, calling the 5-so, for instance, or if he draws it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, we shouldn't say dead, because there's always a chance they're gonna discuss. They're all in everyone's hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. So. Alexander. Just waiting. I think there's only 5-so left and none anyone's hand. Oh, this is intense. Might just go to Goku then.
Yeah, that's probably the more likely outcome.
I didn't see any dragons.
Yep, they're just good for Alexander. You could even fail. You know, it's already now at the last couple discards. So if you draw something that's dangerous to Kaji, you can just throw something safe, like the 1-mon for example, and be happy paying 1,000 points.
Oh no 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 no!
Oh, cursed.
As soon as I saw the 2-mon, I'm like, no 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 no. That's the other tally he could have drawn that would have forced the 7 to come out and off it.
Yeah. So it looks like it is 350. The close con of okay. Well, that puts Kaiji in second place, overtaking Alexandre. What a fun game.
Yeah, certainly was entertaining.
Alright, so that's Anthony,
And this is Edwin
and signing off.
watching.
We appreciate your patience.